everyone, my name is Bethany. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in Northeast Florida, and I have made a commitment to myself to show up here in this space on a regular, consistent basis. Only I've been making this commitment to myself for the last year and a half, maybe almost even 2 years. So far, I guess that hasn't been going really well, but I'm going to try again because I feel like I need this community, and I'm thinking that there are other women in particular who need this community too. I just feel so strongly that this community that I'm dreaming of, this community that I am trying to cultivate and really just have us be part of, is so important that I just can't give it up. So here I am yet again, recommitting myself to showing up here in this space with some sort of consistency. And we'll see what that looks like. But here I am today. So we'll take that. We'll take that as a fresh start, a fresh beginning. So anyway, really, if I were to kind of identify or say what this community that I have in mind is in a nutshell, what would that really be? Well, that's a good question. And I would have to say that it's essentially for Christian women who, we're midlife now, and we've worked hard in our lives to cultivate relationships and families, and our love for the Lord continues to grow, and our faith continues to deepen, and yet even still we find ourselves facing circumstances that have changed everything for us, for our families, for our life, for our future. And what do we do with that? Where do we go with that? And how do we move forward from that? And it's more than divorce. It's just the messiness, I guess, of life and different traumas that are involved, and well, just all of it. I'm not quite sure what to put out there in this introductory video. Now I feel like I'm just bumbling, but I know if I pause, I'm going to lose my nerve, and I'm going to stop, and I'm not going to keep going. And I do want to keep showing up, and I do want to push through the nerves and just be here and be in this space. And so my prayer, I guess I'll start with that. My greatest heartfelt prayer is that God would use this channel, use this community that I'm trying to build and grow, use me even as a vessel of hope, as a safe space to maybe share some of the wounds together, and also to help each other heal, to find encouragement and hope, because there is life on the other side of the after. There is a before and an after. So many people, when we're dealing with grief, that's how we operate. There's a before this awful thing happened, and there's an after. And a lot of the messy space is right in the middle, where we're kind of pulled in both directions and not quite sure what to do about that. And so that's something that I would really like to address as well. So the type A part of me wanted to have a bullet point list and everything all tracked out to say, especially since this is kind of like the first video again after quite some time of not posting. But I just happen to find myself at work, and I have a few minutes left before I have to go do school pickups, and I thought, I'm gonna go for it. So this is completely raw and unedited, and I say a lot probably, and I don't have a script in front of me, so I am just kind of off the cuff here. And that's okay because, it's important that we value those commitments that we make to ourselves. So some of the other things that I really want to address for us, as single moms in particular, is the importance of having security and having stability. And yes, of course, I'm talking about financial security and stability. I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and I did have some businesses on the side, and now I do again. I guess I have that entrepreneurial spirit, which is a good thing. But at some point, I do want to begin to share some of my life story, some of my journey, and I want to share that because it's so clear to me how God has just laid everything before me that I would need as I would need it. As I was going to be stepping into each new stage, He was already laying the foundation that I would need. And I believe that's a really important thing to share so that others can find encouragement in that, so that maybe others could have a deepening of their faith listening to my story. And I know my story is not unique. We live in a broken world, and there's just a lot of pain around us. That's just the reality. And to be honest, this just isn't how I pictured my life. And I know I'm not alone. I know there are so many of you that are also facing uncertain futures, or just dreams that you had that look very, very different now. And the journey to get from that place of desperation and pain and wounding and shock and all of the things to now getting a little bit on the other side of that. Well, if I can help out in any way, the woman that is facing this big unexpected unwanted change for her life, and meet you somewhere in there and give you some bit of encouragement or hope, then that's what I want to do. So with that, welcome. I don't know that I will have more scripted videos in the future. Probably yes, that I was a former teacher, so that is certainly in me as well. But for right now, I just wanted to go ahead and put this out there before I lost my nerve, like I said, and really hold myself accountable, because we need to do that when we make a commitment to ourselves, when we feel something just growing inside us, and it's almost the pain of just staying quiet about it is greater than the pain of the risk of failing or looking ridiculous or just not sounding right. Yeah, I've felt all of those things, but here I am, and so welcome. I hope you'll check back in and join the journey. I think it's going to be a really important one, and I'm so looking forward to building this community and getting to hear from other women, other moms, other Christians that are just navigating this thing called life, in the unexpected parts and the parts that hurt, but to be able to also offer hope and encouragement and point others to the Lord who can redeem and restore all things broken. That is my greatest prayer. So again, welcome. If you made it this far, you deserve an award or reward of some kind. So go do that for yourself. And I'm going to go hop to my car and do school pickups and then do a few more sessions before I call it a day. So I hope you're having a really good day, and we will chat again soon. Take care. Bye.